One thing that is worrying me is the fact that soon my wife's visa will expire, and I'm supposed to take care of this problem and gather all the material, all the documents that we need for her to get the European family visa. Also, there is one issue that is worrying me, which is money. But, to be honest, a big help came about unexpected. I received £BlaBlaPound by HMRC. That was really good, but that wasn't enough to clear my debts. I need to put more than £500 in my credit card, and I need to be careful not to go under zero in my bank account again. And of course, the desire of buying a new phone, it's quite a disaster. But don't get me wrong, I'm not going to buy it. I was thinking I should take this desire of objects seriously. What I mean is that it's quite easy, coming from a Christian background, to see the desire of a phone, a flagship phone, simply as a sin, a futile desire, which it might as well be. Now you might be wondering, why do you desire it in the first place if you don't need it? So, to be honest, I might need a new phone for my Italian SIM card. I am using an old phone that I used to have, which I'm using as a hotspot device. That means that I'm using the Italian internet from that phone, and I share it with my Google Pixel 7 Pro that holds my UK SIM card. Problem is that sometimes I do need to use the other phone, let's call it the Italian one. But that phone, it's kind of let's say it's not good. It is a ragged phone, so it's quite heavy, a lot heavier than any other phone. If you throw it against anything or anyone, it will cause damage. So it's heavy, and you cannot even use internet, the browser, as there's some problem with it. So that desire of a new foldable phone links well with the fact that my Italian phone needs to be changed. I could actually use one phone with double SIM, yes I know, but unfortunately my Google Pixel 7 Pro doesn't have that feature. So my idea, as I said before, instead of categorizing the desire of a new phone simply as a sin, as something to be ashamed of, I want to actually give credit to that thought, to that desire. So my plan would be not to dismiss that desire, but possibly cultivate it and start to draw a plan that would allow me to buy that phone. So I will need first to put all the money that is missing from my credit card back in. And we are talking about £500-something. Then, after having done that, I will need to have finished to pay my boiler, and the same thing applies to my tablet. So, when the debt of my credit card will be repaid, when I will have paid the boiler, the tablet, at that point I could think to pay monthly for a new phone. But, ideally, it would be a lot better if I could pay the phone straight away. The funny thing is that when I think to pay a phone that costs £1,600, or even more considering the accessories like the pen and something else, that idea, it sounds crazy. So, I think, is it not very, very interesting that to my mind, my not very intelligent mind, it sounds reasonable to start a new debt, to pay a new phone when I don't have money. But it does not sound okay to pay the money in one go when I have the money, which would be the most reasonable thing to do. The thing is that it seems silly, the idea of, for example, having, let's say, £1,600 in my bank account and waste it in one go for a phone. So, this idea is quite interesting and should make me stop actually to desire the phone. But anyway, as I said, I don't want to have the approach that Christianity taught me. Desiring things is a sin, they would say. And they were right, I'm sure. But the problem is that their approach is also wrong, because desiring things is not always a sin. Sometimes tech, gadgets, they do help. They do make our life slightly easier or enjoyable. And I think that there is something interesting in desiring to be modern, to have the last tech gadget. I don't see it totally wrong, not at all. It links well with the desire of being an open-minded person, a person that wants to change, open to change at least. Yes, my idea of change does not include spending all my money in gadgets or tech, the complete opposite actually. But let's cut to the chase. What I want to say is that I'm going to draw a plan. I'm going to write down the steps that will bring me to having that phone. The phone I want is a foldable phone. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be the Honor Magic V3 or the Google Foldable Pixel 9 Pro or the Samsung Foldable 6, or by the time I will have the money to buy it. Probably some other phones will be out. Why do you want a foldable phone? You might ask me. Well, the reason is because there might be a few times when I might need to have two apps open at the same time, facing each other. For example, because I read books in English and I also listen to them on Audible, at the same time, I need to be able to control the Audible app very quickly while I am reading. And often, I have to pause the audio because there is a lot of words that I don't know the meaning of, so I need to look for their meaning on the dictionary. This is one use that I could do with a foldable phone, but there's many things that I could do with it. Then, there's the dilemma of the camera. Usually the foldable phones don't have a good camera. Today, or yesterday, the Honor Magic V3 came out, and apparently it does have a good camera as well, and it supports the use of the pencil. Anyway, guys, you can see how I'm a little bit F'd up, yes. But anyway, you might think it's silly, but to me the idea of addressing desires and ideas and give them the credit that they are asking for, it's a valid one. It's a good project. It's a good way to deal with my emotional, my physical and spiritual needs. Address them. Do not label them simply as sins. Don't be ashamed of them. Embrace them rationally. Draw plans to let you achieve the goals, which in this case are represented by these objects. You need to remember, though, that making sure to have money enough in your bank account to pay for everything else, that is mandatory. That is why the least I can do is wait to buy the smartphone until I have cleared my credit card and finished to pay the boiler and the tablet. But I also need to make sure that I have provided for my wife and my son. But not only that, I will need to have found enough money to go to visit my wife and my son, and possibly also the rest of my family. Also, don't forget, that is very important, to make sure that the school has priority on YouTube, on the videos, etc. Remember that being a nurse is what is going to pay the bills, not the YouTuber thing. Some YouTubers do manage to pay their bills thanks to the money that they make via YouTube, but that path is quite difficult. And even if I do manage to arrive to the point where I get paid, I will be paid peanuts. Plus, I don't like the idea of everyone becoming a YouTuber, an influencer. We do need nurses, doctors, people who actually put their hands on you. YouTube is nice, you can get a lot of advice in it, but it's not going to cure you, it's not going to take the cancer out of you. We do need nurses, doctors, pizza chefs, waste collectors, etc. Anyway, I'm feeling a little bit sleepy now. I hope you enjoyed this speech. Subscribe to my channel, leave a like to this video, and leave a comment. Thank you.